Most people think disrespect is obvious. They imagine shouting, insults, aggression, humiliation. But in psychology, disrespect is often much quieter than that. Sometimes it hides inside small behaviors that slowly damage your confidence without you even realizing it. And that's exactly why emotionally intelligent people learn to recognize subtle signs early. The first sign is this: they only value your emotions when those emotions are convenient for them. At first, they may seem supportive, kind, interested. But the moment your emotions become uncomfortable, their behavior changes. They dismiss your feelings, call you too sensitive, act annoyed when you express hurt, or suddenly become emotionally unavailable when you need understanding. Psychologically, this often reflects low emotional empathy. Real respect means acknowledging another person's emotional reality, even when it's inconvenient. Disrespectful people usually only tolerate emotions that benefit them emotionally. And over time, this creates something psychologists call emotional invalidation. Emotional invalidation slowly teaches the brain that your feelings are unsafe to express. So you begin suppressing yourself emotionally just to maintain peace. The second sign is subtle interruption. And this one is more powerful psychologically than most people realize. Research in conversational psychology shows that interruption patterns often reveal hidden power dynamics. People who constantly interrupt you are often unconsciously communicating, "My thoughts matter more than yours," especially when they repeatedly interrupt your emotions, opinions, or stories before you finish speaking. And eventually, your brain adapts. You start speaking less confidently, second-guessing yourself, shortening your thoughts, becoming quieter socially. This is why chronic interruption slowly damages confidence over time. Because respect is not only about how someone talks to you, it's also about whether they truly allow space for your voice to exist. The third sign is inconsistency. Their respect changes depending on who is watching. In private, they may ignore you, dismiss you, talk down to you. But in public, they suddenly become kind, charming, or emotionally attentive. Psychologists sometimes associate this behavior with impression management, meaning the person cares more about appearing respectful than actually being respectful. And emotionally, this creates confusion, because inconsistency destabilizes trust. One version of them feels warm, another feels emotionally cold. So your brain starts constantly analyzing which version you're about to get. And over time, that unpredictability creates emotional anxiety. The fourth sign is when someone subtly competes with your happiness. This behavior is often difficult to notice because it hides behind small reactions. You share good news, and they immediately redirect attention back to themselves. You succeed, and they minimize it. You feel proud of something, and they respond with sarcasm, indifference, or forced excitement. Psychologists sometimes connect this to fragile ego protection. Certain people subconsciously experience another person's success as a threat to their own self-worth. So instead of celebrating you fully, they emotionally reduce your moment. Respectful people feel safe enough to clap when others shine. Disrespectful people often feel uncomfortable when attention leaves them. The fifth sign is psychological control. Through guilt. This is one of the most emotionally manipulative forms of disrespect because it attacks your nervous system indirectly. Instead of communicating openly, the person uses guilt to control your decisions. They make you feel selfish for having boundaries, selfish for needing space, selfish for saying no, selfish for prioritizing your mental health. And slowly, guilt becomes emotional conditioning. Your brain starts associating self-respect with fear of disappointing others. This creates something psychologists call people-pleasing behavior, where your nervous system becomes trained to prioritize external approval over internal emotional safety. And many people spend years trapped in this pattern without realizing how deeply it affects their identity. The sixth sign is perhaps the most revealing of all. They only respect you when they need something from you. Their kindness becomes conditional. Their attention appears transactional. Their energy changes based on what value you currently provide emotionally, socially, financially, or psychologically. And the moment you stop being useful, their respect disappears too. Psychologically, healthy respect is stable. It does not disappear when convenience disappears. Real respect is reflected in consistency, attention, empathy, emotional safety, and how someone treats you when there is nothing to gain. And this is why emotionally intelligent people pay close attention to patterns instead of isolated moments. Because isolated moments can be misleading. Patterns reveal truth. Anyone can fake respect temporarily. But repeated behavior always exposes emotional reality. Eventually. And one of the most important psychological shifts a person can make is realizing this. Disrespect becomes dangerous when you start believing you deserve it, because repeated emotional mistreatment slowly changes self-perception. The brain adapts to what it experiences repeatedly, If you are constantly ignored, minimized, invalidated, interrupted, or emotionally controlled, your nervous system slowly begins expecting that treatment everywhere, and eventually, low respect starts feeling emotionally normal. That is why self-awareness matters so much. The earlier you recognize these patterns, the easier it becomes to protect your emotional health before the damage becomes deeper. And protecting your emotional health is not selfish. It's psychological survival, because the people around you shape the way your nervous system experiences life. Respectful relationships create emotional safety. Disrespectful relationships create emotional exhaustion. And emotionally exhausted people slowly lose parts of themselves trying to maintain relationships that were never emotionally healthy to begin with. So pay attention to patterns. Pay attention to how your body feels around certain people, whether you feel emotionally safe, whether your voice becomes smaller around them, whether your mind constantly feels anxious after interactions, because your nervous system notices disrespect long before your conscious mind fully accepts it. And sometimes, the strongest thing a person can do psychologically is stop begging for respect in places where it was never truly valued. If you related to this video, comment which psychological sign stood out to you the most. And if you enjoy deep psychology content like this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more videos about human behavior, emotional intelligence, relationships, and the hidden psychology of the mind. See you in the next one.